Okay, what's up, guys? This is Scotty. I just finished the Knoxville Regional, got 14th place. So I didn't have much playtesting time with this deck at all.
As in 0? Round 1 was his playtesting?
Yeah, that's true. I got off work at like 7 in the morning and started building the deck on the way there. Never played the deck once. I was like, why not? Looked fun. But ended up doing alright with it. Got my first invite. But onto the deck. Played good old Batteryman. Gotta play them 3 9-volts.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure like nobody knows what this card does, or like any of the cards do. So you should probably explain, like basically, just briefly what they do.
Yeah, so 9-volt. The only reason the deck's playable now is just brand new. What did it come out in? Duelist Alliance. When you summon it, you can double its attack because it's 2,000. You can search for any Batteryman monster outside of himself and add it to your hand. And in phase, he dies, no problem. And then that's the only.
No, you can add himself.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, I never added. It's not that useful to add himself, but it's not bad.
Because it dies during the end phase of your turn, so.
Yeah. So like, you would call it on it's so good though. But then you get to the old school ones, like Microcell, so broken. It just like when he flips, you can special summon any Batteryman from I think it's deck or hand, if I remember right, or it's just deck. Level 4 or lower from deck. Okay, I was wrong. He's deck or hand.
And then when he dies, you get to draw a card.
Yeah, it just so many people. I've just set him, set back row. They won't expect it. They have no clue what I'm playing. They'll be like, oh, it's probably some Yang Zane or just open really bad. Flip it, and it's just so good. To see if I can get board presence to summon this guy out. So pretty much, when he's tribute summoned successfully, it has to be a normal summon though. He can special summon a Batteryman from deck or hand if he's the one that does that. Yeah. And he gains 300 attack for every one. He's already an 18, but counting himself, he automatically becomes a 21. So when he switches something else, he becomes a 24, and it just helps this deck OTK so fast. And like that's what I was going for. Like it's really.
He's really big because he gauge for every Batteryman on the field, including himself. So.
Oh yeah, like that's the whole deck. It's really consistent, but it's OTK based too. So that's what I loved about it. It's just something different. I haven't really played with it. Then there's good old fuel cell. When you control 2 or more Batteryman, you can switch to summon him. And you can tribute summon off a Batteryman and bounce something your opponent controls. This card is this and the Charger are about the only reason I wanted to play the deck. Because it's such a good Shadal matchup, and I expected to see so many of them. And like Windows.
Did you lose to a Shadal?
I lost to 1. We went into game 3. It went straight into time right when we drew our hands. And he summoned Raiden, milled 2, hit the Hedgehog, hit the Falcon. Then at the end phase, he hit the Dragon and the Squamata. I'm like, if you got it, you got it. He caught my vanities and everything. I couldn't do anything about it. Just like whatever. But that's the only shit I lost to. Round 1, I versus Telknight. He duality into the Regeki, won that one. I couldn't do anything there.
I think you only have 7 miss, so you better hurry.
Gotcha. I beat 4 Shadals in a row after that. Lost to 1. Beat Burning Abyss, and then beat Batteryman to get to top. I played 2 Seahorses because as consistency, you can discard it, add your 9-volt heart of the deck. Really good, and nothing else. Summon it, 1600, just a little beat stick, not too bad. Card-E, just added it for speed. It wasn't too bad. I'm iffy on it, but I really don't want to cut it. I don't know, it's just one of those things. It's like you do, you don't. For last monster and last Batteryman, you got good old Industrious thing. I only like 1 of. He's really good, but you definitely don't want more of him. All you gotta do is banish 2 Batterymen, special summon him, and then while he's on the field, you can banish a Thunder monster from your graveyard, target a monster and a spell or trap card your opponent controls, and destroy them both. It's so good.
He reminds me a lot of BLS in the deck, honestly. He's just really, really good.
Oh yeah.
He's really hard to deal with.
Oh yeah. And, like, it's just ridiculous. Getting rid of Construct and everything. 3 upstarts. I'm truthfully thinking about cutting 1 for Trapston, but I'll get to that point later. Overall, just there. Triple duality, consistency. You just want to set up for your OTKs. One of my favorite parts about the deck is pretty much you have your 4 monster ones in a sense. As you play triple of these, you pay 500 life points. You set some of the Batteryman from the graveyard, really good, and you have Soul Charge, of course. This card though, Monarch Storm Forth, is so ridiculous. When you're like when you're versus Shadal or something like that, if you can get a window and get this off, you pretty much, it's a massive blow. You go out for a win. The 1 Soul Charge, like I said, ridiculously good. The 1 Book of Moon, Logan tried to tell me to cut it. I ended up not listening to him. There's times I wish I did, times I wish I didn't. It saved me, I think, one game, but it really didn't help that much. I should have probably listened to him, but the Wonder Geki, of course, I thought I'd try it out. It didn't do too bad. Half the time I drew it, I really didn't need it, but it was alright. When it went off, it did really well for me.
You know what's the interesting thing about that Regeki?
What?
There's actually a later print Regeki, because it's from LOB, but it says spell cards. It's an interesting thing, because it must have been reprinted from like one of the legendary collections, like the one that came from the with the god cards. So that's just something I just noticed from looking through this camera.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hold on.
Let's see, play the 1-0 staples, warning, compulse, bottomless, really good. One trap stun. I wish I could have found a second one. I would have dropped a upstart in a heartbeat. Every time I got the trap stun off, I pretty much won that turn. If not, got them close enough where they couldn't establish a board and come back from it. It's ridiculous. 2 vanities. Vanities is vanities. 3 call to haunted. Just get your 9 volts back. Keep on deck thinning.
I would just go through the extra deck just really fast, because you only made cowboy and it got breakthrough skilled. So
I used nothing of this minus the cowboy. Everything else just sat there to look pretty. I never touched this minus the good old cowboy. And like we said earlier, I really just made the deck after I got off work at 7 in the morning. So most of this is from from Rulers. I'm gonna play that, so most of it's a little bit changed though. There's one of them, just Shadal hate, / prophecy. Shadal hate actually killed me won me a Sylvan matchup though. Those are just pretty, I just left them in there. 2 Decree, 2 Abandon played on, 2 Shadow. MVP of the day though, full house. It's 1